The Gwaltney Group.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group. RE/MAX results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome to yet another summer-like weekend in Minnesota. Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results with us. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
You know, we get this good. I'm great. How about you? I mean, we're getting this close to October, and we're still enjoying this weather. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, I know, right?
Although I did talk to my brother, and he has to put a new furnace in, so that's a sure sign winter's on the way.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, it's good he's putting it in now and not January.
Exactly.
Look on the right side.
That was the theory.
Yeah, so, much easier now, for sure.
I guess we better talk about the big news this week. The Federal Reserve finally did it. They went half a percentage point, which... Just
exactly what I was predicting.
Yep.
I had a lot of my colleagues were saying, no way, it won't be more than 0.25%. I'm like, nope, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a half. And clearly, I mean, I think all the lenders were anticipating that it was going to be at least 0.25%, and they've already dropped mortgage rates, in anticipation. But now that it's a half, I mean, who am I? I'm not an economist. I'm not a, national expert on this, but I actually believe we will see the rates before the end of the year in the fives. I really do.
I'm not going to argue with you. That's for sure. I think you're right on. Did we see movement as a result of the announcement, or as you kind of said, it was already baked in?
Yeah, but the applications for loans has jumped way up, and people refinancing already because, people were locked in 8%. We're already at 6 point something. So that's good to be able to, anytime you can drop a full percentage, it's probably worth refinancing, but there's probably people refinancing for close to 2%, which is going to give them some relief in that monthly payment. No doubt about it.
And some mortgages have that opportunity to refinance at no cost.
Yep, they do one time. Yep, they absolutely do. And another thing is, even if there is a little bit of cost, it's not usually a lot and usually worth it in the end, but hopefully the lender that you're working with will be honest about that and like show you how those numbers play out so you can make a good decision based on what it would look like.
Well, considering, go ahead, Robin.
Well, no, I'm just saying, so to the end of that, yes, there have been more applications and there have been more people looking to refinance. There hasn't been a huge spike in number of pending sales, but ask me in about 3 or 4 weeks and I'll bet you we'll see a big, big jump. Remember how I've said all year long that I feel like fall was going to be our spring market? Well, here we are. Still feels like summer, but it is most definitely fall going into the end of September. So I think we're going to stay busy.
And with the Fed's announcement, I mean, it's only a few days ago.
Yeah, Wednesday. It wasn't. Yeah.
All the data that is associated with what just happened is still not available, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
And,
we'll be watching. It'll be good. It'll be fun.
And with the weather, knock on wood, being as nice as it has been and hopefully continues being fairly mild, that's perfect for people trying to sell. Well, also buy, for that matter.
And also buy. Yeah. I mean, last winter was literally, for Minnesota, it would be what I would call a realtor's dream because business stayed really steady with a lot to do with the mild weather, right? It's so much easier to go out and look at houses when there's no snow on the ground or a little dusting on the ground and you're not going through, big old snow banks and unshoveled sidewalks and all that stuff. So it was.
And your eyeballs are freezing from the wind.
Exactly. I don't even know if I might have wore a winter coat out showing houses about half a dozen times last year, but usually a sweater and a scarf was good.
I got a chuckle. I think it was last weekend you posted on social media. I think I had to be Sunday because you referenced football, and it was like the perfect day that.
Oh yeah.
The Vikings won. Something else was happening.
The Packers won. That's my son-in-law. The Chiefs won. That's husband and son. So everybody's teams won. So everybody was happy, and I sold a house. So I was happy because I didn't care as much about football as the rest of them.
Yeah. How come no Vikings fans in that household?
Well, I would be the Vikings fan.
Okay.
I mean, I still love the Chiefs, and I still cheer for the Packers, even though my dad would probably not like that.
Yeah.
But I cheer for the Packers for Matt's and Jenna's sake.
Well, you're pretty close to that border, so.
Yes, we are. We are, for sure.
Just a little water in the way.
He raised me to say, every week you cheer for the purple team, and you cheer against the green team. That was how I was raised. So, yeah, I don't cheer against the green team anymore.
Yeah, your earliest memories. Green is bad, purple good.
Yep. And now, of course, mostly I want a happy husband, so now I'm all about the Chiefs.
All right, enough football talk, right?
Well, it's fall. Fall in Minnesota, what comes natural is football, right?
I was wondering about that. Seeing as we like our football, does that interfere with house transactions? Do you have resistance to, hey, let's go look at a house, and the husband or whoever is the football fan says, no, the Vikings are on?
Yeah. Well, so I'll tell you, that's a really good point, because on Sundays when people schedule open houses, they always check first to see what time the Vikings play and schedule accordingly, because you are going to get more traffic if you schedule around it. And we've been doing Friday night open houses this summer, and now that high school football is in session, forget about the Friday night open houses, because people are going to football games. So, yeah, it definitely plays a part. No doubt about it.
Well, that's interesting. To me, it's kind of...
We're not like Texas, where the whole world shuts down. But there definitely are some very avid football fans around.
I bet in the smaller communities it's even more so, because they everybody shows up for the game. And
exactly. Whether you have a kid or not, it might be a nephew, it might be your paper boy.
Exactly.
It might be, whatever. Yep, exactly.
And I grew up in this town when it was small enough that it was still that way here, but I don't think it's quite the same, considering the demographics of the city have changed so much.
Exactly. But I tell you, you go by those Friday night football games, and they're packed full. So that's a good thing.
So, other than interest rates, anything else interesting happening with real estate around the Rochester area and southeastern Minnesota?
There are some really nice listings coming on the market, and I think, now that this rate cut happened, we're going to really start seeing more and more and more. I think we're going to really, our market's going to get flooded with new listings, which is not usual for this time of the year, but it is going to happen, because at the same time, our market's going to get flooded with new buyers. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I can tell you about a couple of cool listings. I put one on the market yesterday in Wabasha. Are you familiar with Lawrence Boulevard?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're down by the Eagle Center and you drive along the front of the river there. So it's a very sought after address in Wabasha. And I mean, come on, you're just looking at the river. It's beautiful. And we listed a house, and it's fun. It's, 100 years old. I don't have the information in front of me, but it's an old house. And it's probably more than that. Anyway, it was owned by Judge Hatfield and his wife, and they had one daughter, and she had a husband and two sons. She has since passed, her husband has, and one of the sons. So now there's one son. I've not met him in person, but from our phone conversations, I'm going to guess he's in his probably 50s. And this house has been his grandparents and then his parents. And his parents only ever used it for a weekend place. So what's fun about it is you go inside, and it's like taking a trip to the museum, because all of Judge Hatfield's and Mrs. Hatfield's belongings are in the house. So like their dishes, their china is in the china hutches, like the built-in corner hutches like the old houses had, right? And she upstairs in one of the bedrooms, she has a whole bed full of hat boxes with hats. And I found her wig with a handwritten note that said, Mrs. Hatfield, some instructions for your wig. Don't wear it while opening the oven. I was like, oh, for Pete's sakes, this is funny. And it's a handwritten note from Donaldson's Wigs. And I don't know what year that's from. Yeah, I don't know what year that's from, but that is one old handwritten note with one old wig, which is in perfect condition, by the way. So, of course, I tried on some of her hats, and I was having a great time. But that listing, it went live yesterday, and it literally had showings every half hour. 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11. I mean, all the way through the day. Open house, and now today there's another open house, and tomorrow, and by the end of the weekend we'll look at all the offers and it will be sold. And if you drove by and looked at it or walked by, you'd think, oh my gosh, that poor house is just sitting there deteriorating. Like it had metal flower boxes on the front, and they've rusted and look like they're about to fall off. It has shakes for siding, and there's, it's rotted, like the house needs to be re-sided. But the bottom line is that it's like a diamond in the rough, and the inside, it's much, much nicer than you would think. Okay. So yeah, I was right. I'm looking it up now. It was built in 1920. So just a little over 100 years old. And
good bones, as they say.
Oh yeah. You walk in and you're like, wait a minute. How can this wood floor be perfect? Like it is perfect. And there's no scratches, there's no gaps in the, between the boards, and nobody is controlling the humidity in the house because, the heat is being kept very low and the air conditioning is probably off. I mean, it's only window air conditioner, so it's for sure off. So nobody's at all controlling the humidity, but yet the wood floors are perfect. So it is crazy. Yeah.
Have you been in the attic?
Well, I have not, but Scott has, and he's gone in the basement, which I have not as well. But he said actually both of them were surprisingly in good condition. So
I'm just thinking of what treasures must be stored in the attic.
I think the attic was full of insulation. So
okay.
The treasures are actually out in the house. Like I found a silver service set that's all black, because it's been sitting there so many years. But yeah, some cool stuff and some cool old dishes. I mean, but a charming house with some TLC and a little money spent. I hope somebody buys it that revives it, because the lot itself is like a third of an acre right on the river. So it's like a big extra wide lot, and it has, just under 2,500 square foot in the house, but it's got, think about 100-year-old, what the era of the houses look like, a tiny little apartmental kitchen, and then a formal dining. Does have porches on either end. Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited about this house. I think I might have talked a little bit about it last week because it was a coming soon, but I knew it was going to hit the market and make a splash, and oh boy, has it.
Just a little bit of an investment, you could have just this gorgeous place along the river.
Yeah. So I'm literally hoping that somebody will, buy it and just I hope. I'm really worried that someone's going to buy it and just knock it down and build something, because a lot of people, have a lot of money, and there's been a lot of out-of-towners looking at it. So if that would happen, I'm sure it'd be a gorgeous place, but it would just be a shame because, that's just a piece of history there.
You'd have to go to the auction, right?
Right. Judge Hatfield's desk is there. His gavel is there. His nameplate is there. I mean, pictures of them. It's cool.
Wow.
It's like you're going back in time, going to visit them many, many years ago, and you'd find the house just the way it was.
Well, we better take a break, Robin.
All righty.
We'll do that quick, and we will return. It's Saturday with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.
Depends on contract renewal.
To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. And well, I guess, Robin, we started out with listings almost right away. Do you have any other listings to talk about today?
Sure. I'll just talk about the ones that are new this week. So nothing that was on the market last week. How does that sound?
Sure. Great.
I've got a great little condo downtown in the Five Oaks building at 317 6th Avenue Southwest. It's unit number 306. It overlooks the downtown side. It is been on the market for 2 days. It's 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, and it's $235,000. So
really?
Downtown in a walkable place. Yeah, it cannot be rented out. That is my most commonly asked question. Can I buy this as an investor and rent it out? Because God knows it would make an ideal rental for medical students or young residents, but no, it cannot be rented out. You have to be owner occupied.
I'm thinking it would be a wonderful unit for a single or newly married couple who work at Mayo.
And my prediction is it'll be some like medical student whose parents will just buy it and let their child live there. That's perfectly legal as well. So, all right. So there's that. And then in Chatfield, we have a really cool listing. It's listed at 603, or it's located at 603 Winona Street in Chatfield. And it's very historical. It was a hotel at one time, but it's got a lot of charm and it's in really good condition. They've done a lot of nice things. It's got 3 bedrooms and 3 baths and 2,500 square feet. That one is even older than the one in Wabasha. That was built in 1861, but it's priced a lot differently. It is $279,900 versus the one in Wabasha at $750. Yeah. So clearly it's all about location, location, location. You know, the third of an acre on the river is what's driving that.
Yeah, but you've got a front row seat for the Western Days Parade.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm telling you, I think that one's going to sell fast. That one's been on the market 2 days, and at $279,900, it is definitely priced to sell. All right. We have a nice one, another nice condo unit. This one is in Valkyrie Drive, 2100 Valkyrie Drive. It's unit 210, so over in Valhalla. And this one's been on the market for 6 days. It's $259,900. It is 4 beds and 2 baths, so it's one of the big units.
Yeah,
I'll say 2,148 square feet. Then
I didn't know they had 4-bedroom units in that.
Yeah, there's
place.
that one building. It's the Valkyrie building, you know, so it's the one building kind of up the hill a little ways.
Yep. Okay.
One. Yeah. Okay. Then there's 1817 First Avenue Southwest. And this has been on the market 6 days, and it is a story and a half. It's got 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. It's just over 2,000 square feet. It was built in the mid-1900s, and it is $375,000. You could guess by the address, First Avenue Southwest, that it's not a new house. Then I have 5205 Castle Lane Northwest, and this one is $449,000. And it has been on the market 7 days, and it's 4 beds and 4 baths, and it's 2,700 square feet. So those are all of the houses that we've listed this past week. And I'm going to guess that next week when we talk, I don't think any of those are going to be left. We listed some real winners this week.
Yeah, definitely in the affordable range as well. Quite a few of them.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And even the one that's the high end one, that'll sell quickly as well.
All right. Well, why don't we take another quick break? We'll return and chat some more with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.com. To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We're back. Andy Brownell, Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. Saturday morning, talking about real estate in southeastern Minnesota, Rochester area. And we started the program, Robin, talking about interest rates. Obviously, big time in the news this week with the Federal Reserve actually lowering rates after a long period of time raising rates. I guess looking at it, what does that mean for a person who is looking at either refinancing or even buying a home?
Okay, so let me just take a look at our most common price point, like $250,000 house, okay? If you locked in when the rates were 7.5%, your monthly mortgage with your principal and interest was $1,748. Then if it got down to 6, where it is now, it drops to $1,499, so about $250.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it gets down to 5.5, you're down to $1,419. So you're down almost $330. Okay. So it makes a big difference. People are like, what's 0.5% or what's 1%? If you're at a higher price point, let's say you're at a $450,000 mortgage. If you were at 6.5%, your payment is $2,844. If you're at 5.5%, you're $2,555. So again, it's like $300 a month. You know, it's quite a big difference.
When you mentioned the $250,000 house, that's $4,000 a year you're talking about.
Exactly, and $4,000 a year makes a big difference when you're talking about, just buying groceries or maybe taking a family vacation.
Absolutely,
it's a life changer. So yeah, it's definitely a very exciting thing and something we should all feel really good about. But mostly we should feel good about the fact that the feds thought that our economy was in a situation that it was justifiable. So that's really the good news, the overall picture, correct?
Yeah, well, hopefully and I think it will do what it's meant to do. It's meant to fuel economic activity, and a big part of that is the housing market. Exactly.
So,
okay.
One last thing, if we have time, we have a few minutes left, do we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I want to talk about a up-and-coming project that we are going to be so fortunate to be marketing, and we have already signed all of our contracts with our with the developer and such, but nothing is on the MLS yet because nothing has been dug, right? So, but anyway, in Lake City, Minnesota, everybody's familiar with this spot if you've ever been to Lake City. On one corner, there's a pharmacy. On another corner, there's the grocery store. Are you with me?
Well, I think the pharmacy is my relative's pharmacy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so that's kitty corner from the grocery store. And then directly on the other side of Highway 61 is an old abandoned gas station. And behind that gas station, there was a bakery and something else. And then there was Nosh Restaurant, looked over the park. There's the park there that looks at the sailboats.
Yep, I know where you're at.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Ocean Park, I think.
Yes. So anyway, this developer has bought up that whole city block and is going to put up this amazing condo development called Aurora, Aurora. The website is already up and running, so you can visit the website and you can literally take a virtual tour through these units. And the prices of these units, they're different sizes, different numbers of bedrooms, different views, all of those things, of course. 26 total units ranging between, brace yourself because this is Lake City, Minnesota, but let me tell you what, we're having amazing interest in these places. Lowest end is $499, highest end is $975. So,
you know what? I'm not shocked.
No, and they're going to be beautiful. I mean, you go to other markets and nobody would think twice about it. It's just that it's up and coming in our market, right? But it is definitely very sellable and going to sell. So I'm so excited to be a part of this. It has fun things that, Lake City does not have. It has a really amazing rooftop hangout place. Now, I visited one of my friend's kids in Austin, Texas a few years back, and he lived in this real cool apartment building. They weren't owned units, but they were rented units. And he lived there and it had this really cool rooftop where we could all go up and sit around the fire pit with a really cool view of downtown Austin. Well, this one's going to be a really cool view of the harbors, the sailboat harbor and the regular big boat marina and the lake, of course, and the bluffs across from the lake. It's going to be just fun and amazing. And he is going to allow people, because he's thinking that the 499 units, people will want to buy those and VRBO them. And he is going to allow that. And the reason it's not going to probably upset the other buyers is they won't have access to the extras. They won't be able to go, the renters and the VRBO won't be able to go up and hang with the people on the rooftop. There's a bar up there and TVs and, all that. They won't be able to go to the exercise room or the party room. They'll just be able to come and rent the condo, basically, and be in downtown walkable. Yeah, it'll be
walking distance from one of the most quaint little communities you're going to ever visit.
Yeah. So I am so excited, but go out and check out that website, and there's going to be some investment opportunity with like a 20% return on investment. So people who want to buy units are also very interested in this investment opportunity. So call me to learn more about it, or, visit the website, and there's a little thing where you can enter in, I would like to know more about this, and then we will get back to you and answer your questions. But yeah, big, exciting things. Hopefully we'll be building, digging by spring of next year. And much to my surprise, the developer tells me it's only going to take 11 months from start to finish. So that means we're looking at occupancy in early spring of 26. So unfortunately, we all know how fast time goes. So it might sound like a long time from now, but before we know it, it'll be early spring of 2026.
And plus the idea that you'd be moving in right before the beautiful summer season in Lake City.
Exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm super excited about this project. Cannot wait to get it up and going. So,
and I'm jealous. I'm jealous of anybody who gets to buy one of the units.
Well, for sure you'll have to come tour them because they're going to be beautiful. So
all right, Rob. I guess now you mentioned you can give you a call to find out more, and of course call you about anything dealing with real estate. You better give us the number.
Yes, please. Always call me on my cell phone. That number is 507-259-4926. I keep it in my hand from the time I wake up in the morning till the time I go to bed at night. Maybe not healthy, but true. If I don't answer, it's only because I'm talking to somebody else, but leave me a message, and I promise you I will call you back.
All right. Thanks, Robin. We'll talk again next week. Appreciate it. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.